Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Today I'm sharing some cards I made using Spellbinders July 2022 Large Die of the Month. It's called Food Truck. For one of the cards I'll also be using the July embossing folder of the month, and it's called Geometric Stripes. If you're interested in any of Spellbinders club kits, I do have links provided in the description box below. In order to receive the kits I use in this video, you do need to sign up and subscribe by July 28th. There are lots of dies included in the Large Die of the Month kit, and here's a look at the July embossing folder. I love the large size, so it's perfect for slimline cards, A2 size, 5x7, pretty much whatever size card you make. I've gone ahead and cut out all of the pieces. I did use some Doodlebug pattern paper for several parts of the truck. So now I'll just start assembling everything. For the little canopy, I cut it out from some white cardstock, and I'll be covering all of that up with some pattern paper. I selected two different designs. One is tone on tone in this pretty teal color, and the other has a lovely plaid design with pink, teal, yellow, and green. I'll be alternating the two different designs, teal, then plaid, then teal again. And that white piece has little score lines, so you can fold your canopy and lift it up, or you could have it flat. So it just depends if you want a lot of dimension on your card. Next, I'll assemble the two wheels. I have black cardstock, silver mirror cardstock, and then for the very center, I use some white cardstock. Just glue all of those together using Barely Art liquid adhesive. So I'll set those aside. Next, I'll attach this lower portion at the bottom of the truck that has the bumper. I used some more of this silver mirror cardstock, and after I adhered it, I'm not sure if I did it upside down. Looking at all the other card samples, I've seen people do it both directions. There's a very thin die cut piece for the trim on the top of the truck, and I used a dark pink tone-on-tone pattern paper for that. And I'm using that same teal tone-on-tone paper for the stripe that goes across the middle of the truck. There's three different pieces. It does have the little division so you can see the door. It's like a little cutout part. Now you could just leave that little cutout so you could see through it, but I decided to add some of the pink pattern paper on the back side. So I'm cutting very thin strips and gluing it in place. You could also use the truck die to cut out those thin pieces and then inlay them, but they're really small. So I found it easier just to glue the pattern paper on the back side. For the driver's side window, I'll be using some iridescent vellum. Thought that would look really pretty. Since I don't want any of the adhesive to show through the vellum onto the front of the card, I cut that vellum piece just a little bit bigger. I'll put some double-sided tape on the back side, attach my piece of vellum. I also put just a little bit of liquid adhesive in the areas where my double-sided tape was too wide. Before attaching the wheels, I'm putting some scrap cardstock just on that upper portion where it goes above that metal piece at the bottom. And then I will be popping up the wheels. I put some thin foam dimension on the upper portion of the wheel, and then some thicker dimension at the very bottom. So I'll just adhere those in place. And I should have left the release paper on the back side of that thicker dimension until I was ready to adhere it to my card. Not really sure why I removed it. I used the same silver mirror cardstock for the door handle. Next, I'll adhere the headlight and the brake light. Use some more of that double-sided tape on the back side, and you only see just that tiny bit of those die cut pieces. I found it easier to line up those pieces by laying the tiny brake light and headlight on my craft mat and then placing the truck on top. Now I'll adhere that little piece that goes above the wheel. Use the same darker pink tone-on-tone pattern paper. So now it's time to attach the colorful canopy. There is a slit cut out at the very top, so you can just slide that piece underneath. I put some double-sided tape on the back side, so it's very easy to adhere it in place. Next, I'll attach the little metal stand that'll hold either the taco or the ice cream cone. Use some more of the double-sided tape. And for this truck, I'll be adding the ice cream cone. So I use some light yellow cardstock for the cone. Have some brown cardstock for the chocolate ice cream. And then I use some of the pattern paper with the fun polka dots for the very topping. So I guess maybe it could be a whipped cream topping with some sprinkles. Now I'll start working on the background of the card. I used the Party Spots embossing folder from Spellbinders with some white cardstock. You can see that fun polka dot design. And now I'll add just a little bit of color using the Be Mine ink color from Catherine Pooler. I'm adding more ink along the very outside edge and then a very light coating on the inside, just to take away from the bright white. I'll put some ATG tape on the back and adhere my card front onto a card base. And all of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. So now it's time to add my little food truck onto my card. And I will be popping up the entire thing using some foam dimension. I'll make sure to get good coverage so there isn't any areas that sag. When I get to the driver's side window, I am cutting some very thin strips. I'll also add some foam dimension on the back side of the ice cream cone. I'm not sure why I switched to the thin foam dimension. I should have used that same Scotch foam dimension for the ice cream cone. I'll just adhere my food truck onto my card. I love that it fits nicely on an A2 size card. I've already stamped out the sentiment. I hope your day is filled with all kinds of happy. And I put some foam dimension on the back of that, cut the fishtail on the very right side. And this sentiment is from Spellbinders Birthday Unboxing stamp set. The stamp set coordinates with Spellbinders Surprise Box die, but it also works without that die set. Although the box dies are really cute. For an embellishment on my card, I'm using Spellbinders Teal Opalescent Sequins. These are really pretty and they have an iridescent finish on them. And I love that they don't have that traditional hole in the center of the sequins. I'll add 3 in the upper left-hand corner and 2 on the right side of the truck. I'm using an embellishment wand to pick them up, adding just a small drop of glue and then pressing them in place. Then for a final finishing touch, I'll add a few highlights using a white gel pen. I'll add some to the truck and also a few on the ice cream cone. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. Then I also made another food truck, this time featuring the fun taco. For the background on the taco truck card, I used the July embossing folder. I love the pink ice cream truck, but I really like how the taco truck card turned out. I don't really have any fun food themed, especially taco themed stamp sets, so I decided to go with the general sentiment, Hello Friend. And this is from a Honeybee Stamps sentiment set. And I do have links provided in the description box for most of the products I used in this video. Some of the Doodlebug pattern paper that I used has been retired, so I wasn't able to link those. Now moving on to card design number 2. And for this card, I won't be featuring the truck, but I will be using some of the food dies. I'm using a card sketch for inspiration. This is from MFT. It's number 592. For the very background of the card, I have this fun polka dot paper, and it does have some gold foil polka dots. This is the same pattern paper I use for the top of the ice cream cone. It's part of the Hello collection from Doodlebug, which is from years ago, so it has been retired. I'm also using some pink tone-on-tone pattern paper. It has a floral design in the background. I'll be layering everything on some dark blue cardstock. I used my corner chomper and rounded the inside corners on both of those pink pattern paper pieces. I'll put some ATG tape on the back of this piece and layer that background on some dark blue cardstock. Then I'll put my card front onto a card base, leaving that 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. I've already gone ahead and cut out and assembled 3 ice cream cones. I have a single scoop, a double scoop, and a triple scoop. I have some foam dimension on the back side, and I'll adhere all of those in place following the circle design on the card sketch. On the triple scoop ice cream cone, I also put a hot fudge topping, and I put a little bit of glossy accents on that piece so it has a little more realistic look to it. For the sentiment, I've already stamped out "Enjoy your special day," and I'll be tucking that underneath the very top ice cream cone. I'll also put a small scrap piece of cardstock in that little gap where the sentiment will be going over it. That way it doesn't dip down at all. Just adhere that in place using some liquid adhesive. Then to finish off the card, I'll add some more sequins. This is the pink opalescent color from Spellbinders. I'll put 2 in the upper left-hand corner around the sentiment and 1 to the right of the triple scoop ice cream cone. I'll also use a white gel pen and add a few sprinkles to the top of that pink ice cream. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. I didn't have enough of that darker pink pattern paper, so I did change up that second card just a little bit. I also noticed in this paper collection, that second piece of the polka dot paper, I didn't have any of the gold foil polka dots. It was kind of odd. It had the indentation of them, but somehow I didn't get the gold foiling. But it's still a cute pattern paper. Now here's another look at the 5 cards I made using Spellbinders July 2022 Large Die of the Month Club Kit. And for one of the cards, I also used the July embossing folder. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links provided in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.